Welcome back to another edition of Independent Chick. I'm your host, Dana Foster, and today we are talking about to get married, to not get married, weddings, and everything about the industry of weddings and love and relationships. And today I have Brandy White, who is going to be talking about marriage, as well as Melissa Ridgen. And so we're talking about, do you want to get married?
To you right now? Are you proposing? I didn't expect this.
Do you have plans to get married?
No, absolutely not.
No. Why? Why?
Well, I mean, you even said
You've been married, so you've.
I have been married, yeah. But I mean, you kind of said it in your intro. Even it's an industry, you know. And so, do you want to buy into that industry? No. Do you want to buy into the fairy tale? Well, I'm approaching 40. I don't believe in fairy tales. I'm realistic about it.
Yeah. Cut and dry. All right.
Yeah, I've been there, done that as well. However, the idea that that may happen again is not totally gone.
You still believe in.
I still believe in a marriage if you're with the right person. However, I've been on the other side of that fence, and I didn't believe in my marriage when it ended. So definitely, if I come into a relationship where I found all the right characteristics in a partner and somebody who's going to go to the end with me, I would get married. However, going as far as all the theatrics of my first wedding and the expenses, absolutely not.
Well, the reason why we ended up doing this episode was because I had these two girls come up to me in a bathroom at a pub, and they asked me randomly, do you believe in marriage? And I was like, well, I'm 33 and I'm still single. And then as I walked away, I was like, why did I say that? Why was my, one, age important? Two, what do I think about marriage? I've been engaged twice, and so I've gone through the whole thing, and I was obsessed with the wedding. Yeah. Every single day was all about the wedding. That's all I talked about, everything. So is it about the actual marriage, or do you think it's about the wedding? Do we get caught up?
People get blinded in the wedding. You know, you can have relationship issues, and I've seen this before, even within my own circle of friends and things like that, where they're having problems, things like that. But as soon as you get that $10,000 ring on your finger, everything just goes away, because you're in this bliss where I'm going to have a huge party. I'm going to have myself a beautiful dress. The guy kind of gets pushed to the side, and she does her little thing and stresses out her friends and everybody. I've been there. I did it myself.
It's a rite of passage almost, I think, you know, and that we all buy into this industry, and that you know, as soon as the ringer's on your finger, you're now part of the problem. You're the bridezilla, even though, you know, I was. You know, and I don't think that we're necessarily bridezillas in terms of TV worthy of a show, bridezillas, but you just become obsessed with it, and it's more about the wedding. And I should qualify too, while I am anti-marriage, not anti-marriage, I just don't think that we all need to subscribe to the notion that that's what we all have to do. I had a great, my ex-husband and I are great friends. We had a great marriage, but it's just, you know, you're in your 30s, and life takes everybody on different paths, and how are you independent people? And also part of this unit. And I mean, it was our careers. Our careers took us in totally different directions. Like, we were separated by provinces.
Do you think times have also changed from whereas people needed to get married to support each other, whereas you see a lot of women now buying their own places, they have their own lives independently from partners. Does time change?
Those are values you grew up with, whether or not you're religious. That makes a huge difference on whether or not you are going to be married, whether or not what your security level in yourself is. With my own experience, I was really insecure on my own. I thought and defined myself through the relationships I was having with the men in my life since I've been 15. I did not want to be alone. That was the scariest thing in the world for me. When I had my first child, and we weren't married at the time, I felt so pressured because I thought I was letting everybody down. All my cousins were married before me. So when I did decide I was getting married and doing all these things, everything started to happen. And it wasn't like I was connecting to what was happening. I was watching everything happen in front of me like a movie. And I was just going through the motions. There wasn't even a connect anymore to the person I was with. It just seemed very scary, right? So a lot of people are pressured by their surroundings, and that's how they end up deciding they want to get married as well.
That's how, and that's so true. You know, I think that people just, it's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get married, and I think so many people get caught up on the end game of that you're supposed to get married, that you don't see a lot of other maybe red flags, warning signs,
opportunities for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, just you get lost in the chase for a husband or a wife.
All right, so we know you're not getting married. Brandy, what would you do differently if you planned on getting married again? What would you do differently?
I would make sure it's about myself and my partner. I wouldn't necessarily go through the theatrics. Like if it was a religious issue and things like that, in terms of, then I would do that. But I want it to be about me and the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. I don't want it to be for my parents, my grandparents, for everybody around me. If I'm going to get married again and make that decision, I want it to be for the rest of my time.
And Melissa, advice for women that have made the decision to not get married, what would you give them?
We're not geese, ladies. Right. I think kudos to you for not getting married and signing up for forever after to one person. I mean, the notion's ridiculous to me. We're humans. We're multi-dimensional, and to just say that's the one I'm going to be with forever, no matter what, and that no matter what is ridiculous in itself. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Well, thanks for having us.
We'll be right back right after this.